This one's coming from r/advice.
Again.
Jeez. Well, I was reading it, and then apparently most people asking for advice, they have somebody delusional in their life.
Oh.
My sister is demanding that I either abort or let her adopt my baby. I, 28 female, am currently 19 weeks pregnant. My partner, 29 male, and I are very excited as this is our first baby and we have been trying for a few months. We announced the pregnancy a month ago at a dinner party we hosted, and everyone seemed surprised and overjoyed. My sister, 35 female, who I will call Kay, immediately burst into tears and asked me how could I do this to her? I stared at her and asked, "What?" She started ranting, saying that I always got everything I wanted, which is not true. I worked hard for everything that I have, and that she knew I got pregnant just so I could rub her infertility in her face. She screamed at me for 5 minutes about how I didn't deserve to be a mother and she should be the one pregnant right now. My parents left with her soon after, and the party was basically over. I was really disturbed by my sister's reaction because we had been pretty close before and she had never done anything like this. Kay called me the next day, apologizing for how she acted at my announcement and asked if we could meet up for coffee. So I accepted. We met up and she pretended as if nothing had happened. Then she started a big speech on her infertility, how heartbreaking it is to be growing life inside of her just to lose it, and how she always wanted children of her own. She then proceeds to ask me if I consider getting an abortion to make things fair or letting her adopt my baby. I stared at her and asked if she was serious. Kay said she was. I just dropped my part of the bill on the table and I left. Later, Elle, Kay's partner, texted me on a rant that night about how I'd made Kay cry and how all they wanted was to be parents and that this meant so much to them and I owed them for being more successful than them. I and my partner invested many years into our jobs and we have worked very hard to earn what we earn now. I told them that my partner and I had been hoping for kids too, and I was not giving up my baby. She later sent me a long 4-page letter about how she had always wanted to be a mother, and could I consider either getting an abortion or letting her adopt my baby, how I should care about my older sister's happiness, and how she would make a better mom, how the oldest kid should always have the first grandchild, and how I could always just have another baby since it was so easy for me to conceive. After that, she quieted down some, and I thought we were done with this, except it wasn't. She had posted my sonograms on her Facebook and captioned it, "Elle and I are expecting. Can't wait to meet our little princess." I was seeing red. I texted her and demanded she takes the post down. No reply. So I texted Elle. No reply. So I called my mother and I told her what happened. She was able to make Kay take the post down, luckily enough. Kay has called me petty for calling my mom and has continued to demand that I give up my baby. I sent her a letter explaining that I had enough of her nonsense. I am keeping my baby and that I recommend she get some help. I added that if she continues, I will not hesitate to call 999. This weekend, however, was the absolute last straw. My mom and dad have the spare key to my house, and while she was over at their house for brunch, she took the key. While my partner and I were at work, she broke into our house and stole all of the clothing, blankets, nappies, bottles, and pretty much any other item we had bought for the baby, except furniture. It was later returned after my mom found it in her car. I called 999, but they told me I couldn't do anything because I had no proof and because it was all returned. My partner and I are moving in April, but I'm so scared my sister will find out where we live and take my child. I get that she's upset and jealous due to her infertility, but that shouldn't mean I have to give up my baby. My parents know about this, and they have been doing their best to get her some help. She doesn't want to adopt because she wants a child that's her own flesh and blood. I'm due in August, and the stress she's causing cannot and will not be good for me or the baby. My partner is looking to a cease and desist letter. Is there anything else I should do or say? I am scared for my baby.
I think this is the wildest story we've told on this podcast.
Yeah, I like, what do you mean there's no proof? My mom found it in her car. That's proof. My mom testifies. Like, come on. But this is like, you broke into my house and stole my stuff. She's right. Like, what if she breaks in and tries to steal the baby at some point? This is like, I want to move. I want full security cameras. And I honestly don't even want to tell my parents
I
where I'm
know.
going to move to
Actually.
because they talk to her.
Yeah.
I would like want to, like, no matter even if you get a restraining order,
It's not going to
stop her.
No.
That wouldn't actually stop her from physically doing it.
She has a mental illness.
I think so.
Oh my God. This is so scary.
I don't understand. Why does she need an abortion or give the baby up? Like, what? So what, if I don't give the baby to you, I have to get an abortion? Like, what the fuck?
Oh my God. I have no words. I don't even know what to say here. Like, this is so truly insane, beyond comprehension.
I'm distraught just thinking of it. So top comment. Your sister is mentally ill and needs help. I don't say that as a joke or to insult her. She's sick and dangerous. Honestly, I think your fears are well-founded. I would block her on everything and give your parents very strict orders that if you find out they've given her access to any info about your living situation or pregnancy, that you will be forced to cut them all off for your safety. I'd also talk to a lawyer to see if there's anything you can do to protect yourselves. In the US, you can get a restraining order so that that person will be arrested if they come near you. Last, though, would be to make sure you have cameras recording your new place. Yeah, all of that. Get the restraining order. Just do the process of the legal stuff. So if anything happens, like, yes, but that's not going to actually stop her from physically doing it. So Move. Don't let her know where you are. Do not give your parents a key to the house. Try to tell your parents that they not to share that information with them. And if they do, they're cut off. And get security cameras at your house.
What if your parents do let it slip and then, like, what is she's gonna have to move again?
I would move again. It would suck, but I would do that. I would absolutely move again. I would keep on moving. I just
feel like the safer bet is to just not tell the parents. Like, I feel like they would understand. I would hope.
You think?
No, probably not.
I don't think so. I feel like they would want to know where you live. And like, what are you gonna do? Never invite your parents over to your house to see the grandchild? Like, they would probably.
I don't know. Desperate times. Like,
yeah, but they would. I feel like first step, you would try to put faith in your parents to.
It's just a big risk.
It is a risk, but what are you gonna do? Not have your parents around? I feel like if your mom is more on your side, if your parents are showing that they're on your sister's side and not on your side. That I don't know.
Yeah.
So there's an update. The support I've received from this website is overwhelming. Thank you all for your comments, although I couldn't reply to all of them. They are appreciated. I have had the locks changed, cameras installed, and a Ring doorbell. I've started saving every letter and screenshotting every message my sister has sent and plan to take them to court for a restraining order very soon. We have also been seriously documenting everything. My husband and I are planning a trip to Ireland for our anniversary next week. It's going to be good to clear our heads from my sister. I've called 999 to report her for harassment, and they gave her a warning. She's contacted me saying that if I won't give her my child, I can at least pay for multiple rounds of IVF, which I have not replied to other than refusing. She's been begging my parents to convince me to give up my baby, which they refuse to do. They have also been given a statement that basically says that if they give her my contact info, they will not see my baby, to which they have agreed. I've since changed my phone number and we are moving very soon. My sister does not know our new address. She actually stood on our stoop for 20 minutes a few days ago, banging on our door and yelling. My husband opened a window and told her that if she didn't leave, he would let the dog out, and threatened to call the police. We have a rather small but hyper puppy who jumps on everyone and barks a lot, and she is quite scared of dogs, actually. So this made her leave. I started working from home last week, as did my husband, and we followed the advice of one of the commenters and washed all of the baby stuff, as well as to make sure none of the food in our kitchen was messed with. None was, luckily. We're planning on getting a restraining order as soon as possible, and we are looking forward to our trip. I'm already sick of being pregnant, and I'm not even in the 3rd trimester. I just want my baby. Thank you all again for your wonderful advice, and I may update you again when the baby is born. There was no further update. Oh my God.
That's crazy.
That's freaking insanity. I think that sister's Delulu.
Yes.
What
I think she's mentally ill.
What if she has a brain tumor?
It's possible.
It's growing. I feel bad after that last story. It was funny from the first story that you read with it. It didn't feel funny there.
Yeah. I'm worried for OP. I would be like constantly looking over my shoulder, honestly.
It would take
Like,
a while.
what a life.
It would take a while to get rid of that feeling of constantly looking over your shoulder.
Terrifying.
Yeah.